This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Applied Botanics, premium, consistent, and affordable wellness for all. Each of their products features a specialized formula with targeted terpenes to give you a CBD experience that helps you live happy and healthy. And just newly added to their CBD lines, in addition to their drops, are new topicals that you can roll on and edibles to help you find your balance. Visit appliedbotanics.com today and use code word Popko Project at checkout to receive 30% off your first order. Applied Botanics, live happy and healthy. This episode of the podcast is also brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Whether you need plants, trees, sod, mulch, rock, flowers, topsoil, grass seed, straw bales, or anything you need to help your lawn look its best, Keller's has you covered. Located in Exeter, Pennsylvania, near Blue Ribbon Dairy on Kern Street. Mums and fall items coming soon. Check out Keller's Garden Center on social media for more information. My guests today are members of a rock band called Eternal Frequency. They'll be releasing a new single on August 20th, which is a 9 Inch Nails cover of Head Like a Hole. We talk about recording that song as well as the video to accompany it, their experiences over the last 18 months through COVID-19, opening for Adelitas Way, performing at the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame, working with John Phillips at 900 Management, what 2021 has in store for the band, massage parlors, and more. Welcome to the show, Emelle and Justin of the band Eternal Frequency. And we're live. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, how are you doing, Johnny?
Good. I almost got divorced today.
What?
Wait, what?
I almost filed for divorce today.
What? What a way to start a podcast.
I know. This is my life. This is and not for real.
Oh my God.
Not for
that stuff.
not for real. And maybe you can appreciate this, but real quick, I'm joined tonight by Emelle and Justin of the band Eternal Frequency. Thank you guys for doing this with me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me. It's Emelle, by the way.
Emelle, what did I say?
You said Emelle.
Oh, see, you know what? We discussed this before we even started. Emelle.
It's okay. I've been called Emelle before, and many other.
I apologize because we already discussed this, and I'm already screwing up.
I found it hilarious. It's all good.
Emelle, I'll reference you as the initials ML, and I can't screw it up.
Sounds good.
But back to me. This is about you guys tonight, but now that we're discussing it, my wife likes to browse the Facebook Marketplace. Okay.
Same.
Okay, so you can. All right, so we're on the same path here. So, oftentimes I'll wake up in the morning and I'll roll over, and she'll be like, "Oh, hey, we're going." This has happened today. Hey, we're going to Palmerton today. I said, "Oh, really? How far away is that?" "Just under an hour." I said, "Okay, great." Now she's also done stuff to me like, "Oh, we're going to the grocery store. Hey, we have to stop off at this random person's house to pick up a mirror." So she likes to just throw this on me. So I joke that we're going to get divorced because she abuses the Facebook Marketplace. Now, granted, she does find great deals. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. But
that's what brings us back together, because you find something that you really wanted. You didn't need it, but you really wanted it.
I don't want any of it. I mean, it looks nice in the house, but I don't want it. The mirror that
I thought he wanted to talk to us. I guess he doesn't.
I don't know. I guess
What's that?
I love looking at Facebook Marketplace, so I have nothing to say.
You love Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like Target, where okay, so when you have like an agenda, you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna get this one thing.
Sure.
Like Target, right? You're like, oh, I need a gallon of milk. So you go to Target, you end up buying the whole fucking store, pardon my language, but then you leave and you don't have your gallon of milk.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing. It's terrible. Those stores are built for that. They want to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're going for one thing, you leave with 100, and it's always funny too because you have two bags, you spend a ton of money. It's like, what did I buy? I still have nothing. I'm leaving with nothing, and I spend a ton of money.
Nothing practical.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But yeah, so that was my morning today. But yeah, the one time she bought a mirror, and it's this giant mirror, and we don't have a wall in our house for this mirror to fit on. So as great of a deal as it is or was, it's a bad deal in my mind because it's currently in the garage, doing
How
nothing.
big is it?
What's that?
How big is it?
It has to be like 5 foot by 7 foot.
Okay.
It's giant. It's giant.
Now we're in like your living room.
So I lied. I exaggerated for effect. There's one place in this house that's not the basement, I think, that I could fit on. But there's already something that fits nicely on that wall. So it's like it can't go there. So
What about the ceiling?
it could go on the ceiling. You're right.
Like in the bedroom?
In the bedroom, sure. I like where you're going. That could be fun. I'll suggest that to her. We'll see what she says. I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
All right, we'll find out if you're divorced.
She might file for divorce in that case. No, I'd be silly to file for divorce. She's way too good for me, way too beautiful for me. I'm a lucky man. I just like to joke and bust her balls. I posted that on Facebook today, and it was fun to see the interaction. A lot of women had her back. None of the guys had mine. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. It sounds like I'm wrong.
No, it's what we do. Yeah.
It sounds like I'm wrong. So
We're never there for each other.
well, enough of my life. I'm here with Emelle and Justin from Eternal Frequency to talk about some things the band has coming up. You are releasing a new single accompanied by a video, and it is a cover of a popular Nine Inch Nails song. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
You are correct.
All right. You want to say what it is?
It's Head Like a Hole.
Head Like a Hole. Fantastic song. I've had the privilege of hearing it already, and it is fantastic. I personally love the original, but I love your spin on it. It's kind of like a metalcore, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
I love the chunky guitars and your voice, I think, does a great tribute to it. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the video. Now that I've heard the song already. So
Yeah. Just like doing this song in general, I feel like took some balls because like Trent Reznor is like a god to us. So it's like to try to do like a Nine Inch Nails song justice is like, God, we hope people like it.
It was terrifying. It was terrifying.
that's got to be a little nerve wracking when you're covering a song of one of your idols, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, is this the first time you guys have kind of entered that world of covering a song outside of maybe a show?
No, we've done a couple different ones.
Yeah.
We did
We did Queen, The Show Must Go On. We actually did it during like the height of the pandemic. And that song was in support of NIVA, the National Independent Venue Association. So when we released that song, all of the initial sales from it, from like downloads, streams, what have you, went to NIVA. We donated money to NIVA to help keep these venues open over the past year.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. I mean, obviously you guys are aware of that, but that's a great thing. I think I am familiar with that. I kind of wanted to set you up with that to talk about it.
Yeah, the funny thing is that one wasn't scary. I mean, that one we didn't know. We knew that Freddie Mercury wasn't going to come back at us and be like, "Dude, that sucked." Trent Reznor actually does have the potential of possibly doing that and saying, "Don't ever do that again."
Yeah.
But one question I wanted to ask you guys: what's the process like of kind of getting the approval or whatever it might be to cover a song like that?
You basically just apply for a license. You just pay a licensing fee, and you give the credit where the credit is due, and then they get a chunk of that money from obviously each sale, each stream that you do, and it just goes to the artist. It's actually very simple.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to get a certain amount of streams,
Yeah.
and then they have to kind of like renegotiate it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if it goes crazy, yeah, we're probably going to have to pay for it a little bit more, but
Yeah, but it'll all work out in the end.
yeah, and it's worth it. So
Yeah.
this song is actually, we're very excited for this song because, yeah, I mean, you heard it. It's the original, but it's not,
Right.
you know.
Mhm.
So we're excited for it.
Now, is this something you wanted to do because, you know, we already talked about how, you know, Nine Inch Nails is a favorite band of yours, but is it also a way to kind of show your fans or new fans, you know, what you guys are made of and what you're capable of?
Oh yeah, I
You know, a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. This was more so.
just more so just like a selfish thing that we wanted to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Okay.
We just love them, and
Yeah, like we were thinking, we're just like, what is like the complete opposite of our genre of like what we could do and make it our genre and make it really us, and
exactly.
you know, along the lines of also loving Nine Inch Nails, we're just like, we had to do it.
Yeah, and if people like it in the process, I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was more of like a selfish thing.
Yeah.
It just turned out to be a lot more than what we expected, and so that's why we're releasing it as a full-fledged single.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to do very well. I mean, it's very well done. So, I mean, in addition to it being something you wanted to do just for selfish reasons, I think it's going to do a lot of good for the band in general too.
Absolutely, and it'll also be nice because, you know, the new generation. I feel like a lot of the new generation, they're probably like, who's
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails?
I feel
Sure.
like it's our duty, like even with like the Queen song, I
Yeah.
feel like it was our duty to introduce the younger generation to, you know, these groundbreaking songs. And, you know, Show Must Go On was a groundbreaking
Yeah.
song in its day, and had like a whole, you know, in a different era was a groundbreaking song in its day. So I feel like it's kind of like our duty as, you know, musicians and people who have a little bit of a voice to introduce that to people.
You know, it's funny. I think that there's a good possibility people who are hearing this song, you know, maybe it's a younger fan or, you know, a younger listener or whatever, they could possibly think that is your song.
And then we'll be like, we wish. But
Yeah, right. But no, I'm serious. Like, I mean, I remember growing up when I was younger, you know, a lot of bands I was listening to, you know, they could possibly sample different pieces of songs and add it to their songs. And I was not aware that they were doing it until maybe I heard the actual original song like later on in life. I was like, wait, that's not the band that I thought it was. It's actually like, you know, somebody else.
I mean, they thought that Johnny Cash wrote Hurt, so
Sure.
that was a Nine Inch Nails song, so it does happen a lot.
Yeah.
Still,
I love Johnny Cash, but it was like, really, guys, come on now.
yeah.
I remember when I think it was Kanye West working with Paul McCartney, and
Oh my God, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they were saying something like I forget, you know, maybe like the young generation was saying how like, oh, Kanye West was going to like make Paul McCartney a star. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he gave this guy his star. That's what people were saying about Paul McCartney. And also, it happened with Post Malone and Ozzy when they did that song
Yes.
together. People were saying the same exact thing. I'm just like, what? How can you not know these people?
Yeah. Yeah, Post Malone was actually recently in the Scranton area, mainly Clark Summit, which is a little bit further north of Scranton.
Oh, no.
He was hanging out at Tully's. Yeah, right in
Really?
Clark Summit there. Yeah.
That was cool. Were you there?
I was not there. No, I
Okay.
think he was probably there when I was in bed. But I guess from what I've read, he was on his way to Lollapalooza and just stopped in, and
Wow.
he wanted to stop for the tenders. And I heard he was really cool and really nice and hung out and took pictures, and it was a good experience for those who were there.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty grounded person. I like the fact that, you know, he's in the hip hop industry. He's in pop and hip hop, but he's actually you dig deep enough. He's actually a really good original musician.
Yeah, it's amazing. People don't realize actually how talented because I feel like most of his music he kind of limits himself. But if you, like you said, dig deep into his other stuff, and wasn't he like doing like country stuff or whatever? Yeah, well, dude can sing, he can play. Like, I have mad respect for him for that. You know what I mean? I might not be a huge fan of like the hip hop genre, but I respect him as a musician and a songwriter and singer.
I'd join his band.
Sure, why not? And he's got one of the best memes going right now. With,
oh, does he? What meme is that?
Well, if I saw it correctly, he's on stage, and I think there's a girl who lifted her shirt up, and he's just kind of like, and yeah, it's a good meme. But
I think I need to participate in this.
There you go. There you go.
I'm so out of the loop when it comes to the memes nowadays.
I felt really old just now.
Well, I mean, if you're on TikTok, I mean, these yeah, it's hard. Okay, I'm on TikTok. I do not create content on TikTok. I'm there for the consumption of content, just because there's people out there who are really funny. I'm not that funny. I don't think I could try and be that funny. But there's some funny people out there.
If I were to have it, I feel like that's the only reason why. I wouldn't participate. I would just watch the funny videos for my own amusement. So
yeah, I mean, I watched them and I'm like, this had to have taken a long time to like piece together, or at least like set up and write, or whatever it might be. Again, I'm not that funny, and I don't have that much time to do that. So I just I laugh as I scroll.
Hey, laughter's the best medicine. So.
But you guys mentioned genre in relation to Post Malone. Talk a little bit about your music in general, the genre you're in, and why you chose to be in that, or maybe it chose you. But talk a little bit about the band and kind of your experiences with what you have going on.
Well, I feel like you can't really it's hard to kind of pigeonhole us into one kind of genre. I think we're a mixture of a bunch of different genres. It's hard to say. Like, we definitely have some metalcore vibes to us. We have rock. We have some alternative. Like, there's a bunch of different things. I don't even know what kind of genre I would call us. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, like if I had to break down just the instrumentation in our songs, like when we're doing pre-production of a song, we try and dabble in a little bit of everything. So it's like, we're going to go through synthwave, we're going to go through 80s pop, we're going to go through industrial from the 90s. We're going to do a little bit of everything. And we started really kind of honing in our sound when it came to Parasite. And when Parasite came out, everybody said, we're bringing nu metal back. And I said, because I'm old, I was like, yes, we are. And but that evolved. That completely changed to where now she saw me. I was being a freaking weirdo, and I wrote this. It sounded like if I was to rewrite the sex scene in Top Gun, that's what I was in the process of writing, and mine would have been better. So we're all over the place. I mean, that's actually a true story, to where we seek all of our inspiration from different genres, but ultimately
we also write what we like. We're not gonna write a song that we don't vibe with ourselves, that we wouldn't listen to. So that's kind of where our inspiration lies as well. It's like, oh, what am I in the mood today to listen to? Oh, well, I'm gonna write this. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, it's safe to say hard rock.
Hard rock, yeah. That's kind of what we tell people. That's what we advertise as. It's just
we're not rap. We're not rap.
We're definitely not rap or country. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard Parasite, that's the first song that was introduced to me through John Phillips, who is your management with 900 Management. He sent them my way, and he likes to say that he bounces everything off of me, which I appreciate. I don't know how serious or honest he's being, because I'm a nobody, really. But I do love when he sends me music, because typically when he does send it, it's always fantastic. He's shared with me music from you guys and Another Day Dawns, and I think he's Phantoms. I think he's with now too, or with him. And it's all great stuff. And you mentioned nu metal, and I think that's like, for Parasite, for me, that was like that's what I grew up with too. And I mean, I love that kind of stuff. So I guess that's why I kind of caught my ear initially. But as far as working with John Phillips goes, how has he been able to help you guys, and how did you guys meet?
Well, we originally met. We opened for Another Day Dawns 2 years ago. No, was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I want to say it was 2 years ago at Music Fest at the Wooden Match. Because John actually reached out to me. This was before, like long before he was managing us. And he actually asked me if we'd open for them. And I was like, yeah, of course. And so we did that. And that was the first initial meeting. And then we kind of were in talks after that, maybe a year or so after that, when Temptations came out. He reached out to us and wanted to discuss things, and but really what drew him in, I'd say, was when we dropped Parasite. That really sealed the deal there, I think.
Yeah, we didn't have him fully sold when Temptations came out, but at that point in time, that was when the band shifted to where we had member changes. We had a bunch of different things. I came into the mix.
We were still developing our sound for like what it is now. Yeah. So I think that's accurate to say.
And so he was actually the first to say, it was just like when he heard Parasite, he said, "Now that's a song." That was his direct quote, and that's when we started talking to him. And ever since then, I mean, it's just been climbing.
And I mean, was he attractive to you in the sense that he has worked with bands like, Breaking Benjamin, and he was managing Another Day Dawns?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very attractive. He's an attractive.
He is. And I don't know if you guys know this, but back in the day, I mean, I've known John for maybe almost 20 years now. And it's hard for me to call him John. He's been known as Guido. I don't know if you guys knew that or heard that. Guido.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay. Write that down. Write that down.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah. He he's in my phone as Guido. It's hard to call him John. I've been doing my best to try to train my brain to call him John, because everyone else calls him John now, and at this point, I don't know if calling him Guido is like offensive to people anymore. I don't know.
I think so. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, we're products of the '90s. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm offending you guys, but it's hard to say. I mean, my five lists.
You're John too, so it's kind of like John and John. And it's like, I get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many Johns out there, especially when we were growing up. So I think we all had nicknames. Like, people always called me Popko. That was just what people did, and we called Guido. I don't know how that started. I'm sure it wasn't because his name was John, but yeah, but Guido, have fun with that.
Oh, he will. He will.
Yes.
Oh,
you're welcome.
I can't wait. We're gonna call him right now.
You're welcome. Call him right now. See what he's doing.
Thank you so much, Popko.
You're very welcome. Enjoy that. Enjoy that very much.
My phone during this.
But you guys, I mean, obviously the pandemic hit in early 2020. I don't like talking about it a lot because I feel like, it was a terrible, 18 months of our lives, especially, you guys in the entertainment business. But I mean, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't. Like, how did that, kind of affect you guys, and how did you, kind of push through and make it to the other side? And hopefully we're on the other side now. And I know you guys had some shows recently, and you have other things booked, and we'll get into that too. But I mean, how did you guys make it through the shitty part of the last 18 months?
It sucked.
It definitely sucked. I'd be lying if I said, we didn't have depression and anxiety, and a lot of just really shitty things happened, and even in our personal lives, which made it even harder. But with music, we really used writing as a catalyst to make everything better. I mean, there was really no excuses to not write. We had all the time in the world, especially there was a point where a lot of us were unemployed because of the pandemic. So all we had to do was write. And we got a lot of really fucking good songs out of it, I'd say. So I'm happy about that. It was definitely worth it for that. But
Yeah, honestly, with all this, I mean, I feel like a lot of bands did the same thing. I mean, self-reflection was your biggest thing to face. And, so if you thought that you were really good then, well, now you have time to where everything's slowed down. You're not playing shows anymore. And you have time to actually look at yourself and say, am I giving my best?
yeah,
And we did that. I mean, we
it was a
definitely
time of reinvention. We truly reinvented ourselves.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise, believe it or not. I don't want to do it again.
No, I don't want to do it again. Can we not, like, ever? But
Yeah, of course.
we made the most of it. That's all we can say about it, and we're here. We survived, and live music is back.
For now.
Yeah. let's stay positive. I mean, it's a scary time. My son, he's in daycare. He had a direct contact with a teacher who tested positive for COVID. She was vaccinated as well, so that's kind of scary too. Not that the vaccine is a shield or whatever, but so that was kind of scary. And then a kid, one of his classmates, also tested positive.
Oh my God. Is he okay? Did he didn't test positive?
No, we got him tested on Friday. He tested negative. We did a rapid test yesterday. He tested negative. No, I'm sorry. Tested Thursday negative, and then yesterday rapid test negative. They said bring him again on Monday. We'll test him again. And the only reason we were like worried because he was like almost symptomatic. He had a runny nose and a little cough. Now he's also that's his normal cold that he gets, but it's just kind of coincidentally together. So we were obviously nervous, but we're going to test it one more time tomorrow, and I expect he'll be negative again. But at that point, he'll be in the clear. Yeah, but it's just it's scary. I mean, I don't want to go backwards.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But yeah, I mean, one thing I was always so worried about, like musicians, especially because I mean, performing and creating, that's always an outlet for you guys. So it's like, I'm sure that performing is therapeutic to a degree for you guys. So it's like I was always worried about musicians and how they were kind of making it through because without being able to have that outlet to do that, it's scary.
Yeah,
unfortunately, they're kind of like, I feel like our industry is definitely one of the scapegoats for, mass spreads and things like that, which rightfully so. You get a big group of people together and, the chances of it getting around are very good. But as long as everybody plays their cards right, does the right thing, and, is safe, we shouldn't have a problem. But,
it was hard for me personally. Like, I think that was the longest I've ever not been on stage in my life because I started doing musical theater when I was 5. So I've been literally on stage since I was 5 years old. I think that was the longest span in my life that I just did not feel like myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys kind of, and you did what a lot of musicians I talked to, did as well. You kind of, looked at yourselves and you wrote and you created still and hopefully you came on the other side of this, better than, even when you started. So yeah, again, a lot of times this has been a blessing in disguise, as terrible as it was. And, people lost jobs and their lives and things like that. But, that stuff happens, unfortunately. And we need to be, humans and take care of each other and ourselves. And it sounds like that's what you guys did. So I'm happy to see you guys on the other end of this in a positive manner. And I know that you guys just, you did a couple performances. I know you played with, and I might script this name too, Adelitas Way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just had this show on Thursday.
Yep. And they were with a couple other bands, 7 Year Witch and Silver Tongue. What was that experience like? I mean, obviously Adelitas Way, I mean, that's a very, popular name and a popular band.
It was great. Yeah. We had a really good response from the audience. I think we got a bunch of new supporters that night, and just even the bands themselves, they were genuine, wonderful human beings. And even like 7 Year Witch, they let Silver Tongue and us use their kit, which is like almost unheard of from a touring act. But they were so nice and so gracious, and everyone just did a fantastic job that night.
As we were packing up our stuff, the lead singer, he was going back to his van, and he was about ready to just hop on to the next day. And he said, "Thank you guys so much," and he just like said goodnight to us.
Yeah, the lead singer of Adelita's Way.
Fantastic
very
guy.
cool guy.
It seems like everybody's a lot more humble right now.
Yeah.
They're more grateful for what's.
Yeah, everyone's just living life to the fullest right now, and I think that's one of the best things that's come out of this pandemic. Everyone, they're not taking it for granted now. You know, nobody's taking this for granted because they don't want to lose it again.
I was going to say, I think it's one of those, you know, the saying goes, you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know how that band got its name?
I do not know.
So from what I understand, the lead singer, they were playing a show or something like that in Mexico. And afterwards they were out or whatever. And he met this girl, thought she was beautiful. And they started talking, hanging out. And he found out that she was like a working girl. And I used, for those who are just listening, I use finger quotes to, you know, a working girl. I'll leave it at that. And he was kind of like, you know, like, what is this? Like, you know, is this what you really want to do with your life? Like, why are you in this business? And she said, you know, she kind of was like, do you really think this is what I want to do? She's like, you know, I have a family, I have brothers and sisters. My parents are, what's the word? Handicapped, I guess you could say. And I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. I'm the primary moneymaker in this family. I don't choose. I have to do this. It's not a choice. And he was like, wow, like that kind of like really changed his way of thinking. And I guess he had met her there's a place called Adelita's.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot heavier than I thought it was. Huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Lincoln Park, you know, oh, yes, the street we grew up on, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So he, I guess at the time too, he was like living in his car, and it just kind of really put into perspective, like how fragile life is, and like how, you know, he was living out of his car, but like that was better than having to work in that industry to support, you know, their family. So he's like, wow, you know what, this is really a takeaway thing for me, and you know, to not take things for granted.
Wow, that's heavy.
That's heavy.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. I feel like this is more than anything. This isn't an interview. It's like school.
I know. I'm learning so much.
Am I teaching you things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. That's a first.
You told us that John was Guido too. And
yeah, that's the gold nugget right there. That's
Absolutely.
that's the big takeaway. Oh man. And I saw you guys saw Seven Dust recently.
Absolutely.
Big fan of Seven Dust. Yeah.
Oh my god, another band that we just idolized.
My favorite band right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was another. They were kind of what, like mid to late 90s too.
Oh yeah.
They kind of peaked.
Yeah, like didn't they start in like what, 1994?
No, 96, 97.
97? Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing the Strangeland movie, and that was the first time I ever heard Black, and I was just like, wow, Dee Snider starring in a movie. And Dust on the soundtrack. This is a good life. It's a good time.
Yeah, they're great live. They're so good live. Have you seen them?
I have not. I was super. I don't know how big the venue was that they played in, but obviously it was different than what they would have played back in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
But what was that? What was it, like a theater almost, or what was that like?
At HMAC?
Yeah, it was HMAC actually.
Yeah, Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center. Yeah, it's
Okay, cool.
It's a music venue. It's how it's like 3,000 cap room, I think.
Something like
that's
that.
a big room then. Okay.
Huge room. Yeah.
And they destroyed that room.
Yeah, it's like a
awesome.
giant auditorium. It's like the high school auditorium on crack.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And did you guys also perform at the Central PA?
Oh, CPMAs, yeah, the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame Awards. It's a lot of words.
Yeah, it's a big name. It's a big name. Did you guys perform there?
Yes, yeah, we were honoring Hailstorm that night. We actually did
wow.
Familiar Taste of Poison. They were being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Very cool. Very cool.
That was a great experience. Like, that stage is gorgeous. I love that theater so much.
That was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that was at the Sunoco Theater in the Whitaker Center in downtown Harrisburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Did you guys have a chance to see the Badleys?
Yeah, oh my God, they were so good. Them and was it Rich Player Pentagon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Badleys, I mean, as soon as he broke out that harmonica, I was just like, yeah, welcome to the 90s again. I love it.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked like David Bowie for some reason, like a little bit.
He aged really well.
Yeah. We told him backstage, it was like up close, you kind of look like David Bowie. Because like his hair's shorter now, I don't know.
it was uncomfortable because I was the one that gave him that compliment, and then he was just like, oh, thanks, man. I feel like it would have been taken a little.
I turned over to him, just like, he looks like David Bowie.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you probably should have said that to him because I think I scared him. It's okay.
Yeah, I remember that band. I was real young, but my mom loved that band. And it's funny how things happen because I want to say, maybe it was early 90s. So I was probably, I don't know, maybe between, 14 maybe? I don't know. I forget what year that was. They kind of had their first release. And I just remember my mom playing their music all through the house. And it was awesome. It's funny how that happened because, she introduced me to that. Like I said, I was young. It was probably like 8 or 9 years later when I started working for a publication called The Weekender, which was a weekly entertainment magazine or newspaper, I should say. And then I was actually, formally introduced to, members like Brett Alexander and things like that. So it was wild for me to have heard their music prior, really enjoyed it, and hear my mom, love it, and then being able to meet those guys, professionally was pretty neat.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed them and Jeffrey Gaines.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Gaines was, oh my God, that man has so much soul, and he's just a good person, just really real. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of like just tells it as it is. You know what I mean?
It's really cool that after all this time, all of these guys are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they're still so humble. That the Badleys, they just came in, had pizza with us. I'm sorry, it was Panera. They had Panera pizza, and they were just asking about us. Like, at first, we felt bad because we were talking to the drummer and we didn't even know because he never mentioned once the band. He's that humble. And then we said, "Oh yeah, what band are you in?" And then he said it, and but they were just so cool and so humble after all these years, having that much success and still being able to just hang with like little dogs like us. It was really cool.
Hey, you know what? But they were once where you guys are, right? Mm-hmm. And what's really great to see from Pennsylvania too, like musicians. A lot of those bands have remained humble. Like think about the Badleys, Breaking Benjamin. Mm-hmm. I had the pleasure of meeting Ben a few times. Aaron Brook, who's a current bass player. He and I used to shut down bars, back home here, and then go out to his car and listen to new songs he was putting out for the band he was in at the time. And then you have, Aaron Fink, who was in Breaking Benjamin, and now they kind of, he's no longer with them, but he's done his own solo material. But he's also, they kind of brought back Lifer, if you're familiar with that band.
Boring.
Yeah, hell yeah. They just had their 20-year anniversary last night at Hogs Hollow in Berwick. I had the pleasure of, I work for a company called Axelrad Screen Printing. So we printed some of their 20-year anniversary shirts, and they were, Aaron was in and picking those up. And so he's so down to earth. And I mean, if you've ever seen him play the guitar, like him play the guitar is just like, it's like a carpenter with a hammer. The way he moves, it's just like a tool, and it's so fluid and it's so neat. Like if you have a chance to go back and look at some of that stuff, he's even with Breaking Benjamin. But going back to what I said, they're just so down to earth and humble. They haven't forgotten where they came from, and it's just really neat to see. And I think that goes to a lot of bands like currently too. Like, and I think it goes back to what we said earlier. Bands being they kind of had a taste of what life would be without that. So they're kind of like, hey, you know what? This is, we're blessed to be able to be part of this and keeps, kind of grounded.
I agree with
Absolutely.
So now, did you guys also do, we've mentioned the video for the song coming out. I believe you said it was August 20th. Was that filmed in Wilkes-Barre? I know I saw pictures.
It was filmed at Concrete City, so I guess you could call that Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's in Nanticoke.
Yes.
Kind of like outside of Wilkes-Barre.
So maybe that was not what I saw pictures for, because I saw you guys at the FM Kirby Center.
Oh, that was for Show Must Go On. We filmed our music video.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Head Like a Hole was done at Concrete City. Have you ever been?
I haven't, but I've seen pictures. It looks wild.
Oh, it's so cool. You have to go sometime. It is so neat. It's really neat. It has such a simple story. Like, it wasn't like really anything crazy, but like basically they built these houses for, what was it, the miners or like whatever, it was like the factory workers.
This is a new story for me.
Oh, it was for the workers. They were like, I think they're like factory mine workers, and they built them out of, literally these houses were just made out of concrete. And like everything from like the bathrooms, the kitchen, the tub, like everything was just made out of concrete. And they obviously didn't last long, and they were terrible in the winter because they weren't insulated, and
sure.
They realized it was just a bad idea. So they actually tried to demolish them with explosives, and the concrete wouldn't budge, so they just abandoned the whole community, and it is what it is today, where it's just they use it for like paintball. People use it for paintballing, and police use it for like police training, and then obviously people like us are tourists and just like to take pictures about it. It's just really cool.
Do music
videos, yeah.
That's awesome. Can you say who produced it?
It was Eric DiCarlo filmed it, and Set Production, Cyrus Anderson edited it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys are excited for that release, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We suffered a lot through that video.
Yeah, so, it was very cold.
It was very cold. We were covered in mud.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much, but it was intentionally covered in mud.
Yeah, intentionally covered in mud. Fun story. Can I tell them the story about the fake mud?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, all right. So our inspiration for part of the video was, when Nine Inch Nails played at
it was Lollapalooza.
Was it Lollapalooza? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they got covered in mud, and they're doing, so it was kind of like our inspiration, but we didn't want to like cover ourselves in like real mud because we thought that was gross. So we went online and ordered like 80 gallons of
mud wrestling
mud.
Nice.
Mud wrestling mud. You just like mix it in water, and it's got like it's like the weirdest consistency, but like it worked, and it was clean, and yeah, it was like how much? It was like $80.
$80.
It was so expensive. Gallons. 60 gallons, yeah.
60 gallons.
It was fun though. It was fun.
Clean mud. That's the first time I heard that. Yeah.
Well, if I take the mud from the ground.
No. I agree. I'm not knocking you for that.
People are like pissing and like spitting and putting their cigarette butts out on it. Like, I don't want to put that on my face.
No, of course not. I didn't even think of the fact that they could, they made fake mud. So that's good to know.
I had no idea either, but there we go.
The company also makes fake Jello.
Yeah, like real like Jello for Jello wrestling. So like
this is bullshit. That's not real Jello.
No, you can't eat it. Which
my
is
life's a lie. My life is a lie.
I feel like it would be more like ethical to just buy a bunch of real Jello and do it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's Hive Central. No way.
Yeah, but I think it'd be a lot cheaper. Like you can get a pack of like fucking Jello for like 20 cents.
I'm just pissed.
You know how many packs you're gonna need?
all those nights at the strip club, Jello wrestling, or what they used to do. Like there's this biker bar called Outsiders in Wilkes-Barre. They used to have Jello wrestling. They're all fake. This is bullshit.
Well, who knows?
They might have used real because, like, if it smells like strawberry.
Don't try and save it. It's over.
All you need to do, maybe not you're married, but have somebody just get their nose a little close. You know, if they have to slide extra money, you know, just have them get their nose just a little bit closer and find out if it has a lime smell or a tapioca smell, you know.
There's so many things I need to find out in my life now. This is well, I used to the Weekender. It was at one point a like the Bible. For before Facebook came out and ruined everything, including people's lives. But the Weekender was this 96 page newspaper. It came out every Wednesday, and it was just full of like things to do. There was a page where it had every bar, every club venue, everything, and a band that was playing, and what day of the week, and all that kind of stuff. It was literally like people would consider the Bible of what to do and where to go and who to see. Where the fuck was I going with that? Where the hell was I going with that? The Weekender.
They had good wings.
Oh, already. I got you. Sorry. So in the back pages, it was dedicated to the adult pages. Strip club ads, as well as massage parlors and things of that nature. And one thing I always joke around about, I mean, I don't know how that process works, the whole massage parlor business. Is there a secret word you use? Is there like a tap on the shoulder that they do? Like, hey, do you want more than what I'm doing? Like, how does it work?
Endings and handies.
Well, don't listen. I would say honestly, now that you're a married man, it's like the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. You're never going to know, man. You're never going to know.
And it's,
you never know how many licks?
You're so...
No.
I'm just saying that he'll never know. He's asking. It's just like, what's the secret word? What's anything? And if you're asking if we know, no.
I'm not asking you that. I'm just, I'm relaying this. It sounds like she knows. I don't know.
Oh no.
How many does it take?
All right, get here.
I don't know.
Have a Tootsie Pop.
Okay,
you have a Tootsie Pop on hand? This is incredible. Dude.
I have a session with Tootsie Pops.
Jesus. Wow, okay. That couldn't have happened better.
Give me that.
3. Okay. 4.
Well,
okay.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No. I mean, I just, and I was never approached. I was like, because I would have to go to some of them and like take money for the ads because at the time they would pay cash and we had to go get them. And I always thought maybe I would get like approached, like, hey, do you want this? And I would have had to say no, obviously, but at least I would have been closer to finding out. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't exist.
Maybe maybe nothing happens.
Yeah, it could be awesome.
It's clean. It's good, clean fun. Nothing happens.
I don't know. I heard they do it at nail salons.
What?
Okay, straight up. Okay, so I'm from Lancaster County, right?
Okay.
And there's this place, it was in the news, I'm not even lying, where it was a nail salon. It was a nail salon in Lancaster. I think it was on Lincoln Highway. And apparently upstairs in the nail salon, they were giving guys handies. I'm not even lying to you.
How do you even segue into that?
I love the terminology too, handies. Love it.
I'm being honest, dude. But yeah, so that happens apparently.
Okay.
It's not just massage parlors.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never know what happens in those back rooms. Or upstairs rooms or wherever the hell they are. Thanks to that. Now I'm curious about everything. But
you're welcome.
I think that's bullshit.
Oh man. Well, one question I wanted to ask before I let you go. Emelle, you're a female.
Am I?
I don't know. Are you female in a rock band? I mean, have you experienced any kind of hurdles, like leading up to this point in your career that typically it's not a space. It hasn't been a space for females, and unfortunately, I'm not saying anything that's not true. I mean,
Right.
have you had to overcome any obstacles along the way?
At this stage, I wouldn't say that there have been obstacles at this stage. I think that a lot of times women in music get overlooked for their talents, and I think that they just are over sexualized, and certain demographics only appreciate them and respect them for their sexuality and what they look like, versus looking at their talents and respecting them for that. And that can happen. But in terms of like real obstacles, I feel like I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm sure there will be down the road, but I'm fortunate to not have had anything of those yet.
Good. Yeah, it's for whatever reason, it just seems to be a little more difficult. So I'm glad that hasn't happened for you.
There will be some, and take it as it comes. But right now, I think we're still on the smaller side right now. I think once if we happen to get bigger than what we are, if there's anything,
she'll kick somebody's ass. I've seen it. I mean, she's a mean person sometimes.
No, I'm not.
You can hold your own.
I can hold my own, but I'm just saying I haven't had to do anything yet. So fingers crossed. Like,
well,
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I have thick skin, so.
Good to hear. It's good to hear. So where can people find Eternal Frequency online?
Just about anywhere. I mean, if you Google search Eternal Frequency, we'll pop up Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer. We're all digital right now. We don't have like any physical CDs, so all of our music's digital right now. That will change soon. You can find us on Facebook, our website, www.eternalfrequencyband.com.
Which I might add, we just added new merch. Yes. We have a cool new hoodie and a cool new t-shirt. Yeah. It's dope. You can go right on our website. Really
awesome merch that we just released. And yeah, we're on all the socials. You'll find us anywhere.
Very cool. And outside of this release on August 20th, Head Like a Hole, and the video for it, what does 2021 look like for you guys?
Lots of new music, hopefully lots and lots of shows. Like we just want to be out on the road all the time. So that's what we're trying to aim towards right now. Obviously writing more music, we're going to be releasing plenty of more music videos, but we really want to be out on the road as much as possible.
We have a really cool concept coming up, and we can't really talk about it, but right after Head Like a Hole, there's going to be some cool things happening in our world. And yeah, pretty excited about it. I shouldn't have even said that, because it's just like I can't say anything else besides that.
Well, now you got to come through though, because my 5 listeners are going to hold you to that. So,
I mean, if they all would like contact me at the nail salon, we can talk. Upstairs, private room. Absolutely.
Why did I tell him this story?
Because we didn't know what to think.
Johnny, I'm so sorry.
We're sharing here. We're sharing. I gave you Guido. You gave me nail salons. We're much closer now than we've ever been before. And it's funny too, because this has been awesome to talk to you guys, because I played your song Parasite on my radio show when I had a radio show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the songs, and I was just happy to be able to share that with people that were fans of that show as well. So I'm glad that I've been able to get you guys for this platform, the Popko Project.
Thank you for having us. It's been a blast. It kind of came out of nowhere. I'm really excited about it. So thank you.
Yeah. So today's August 1st. We're going to release this kind of closer to when you guys are going to be pushing the new single. So I'm not sure when we're going to do this. I'll talk to John, aka Guido. We'll set that up. But again, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Excited for the song, even more excited for the video, because I haven't seen the video yet. So I wish you, I wish you all the. Do you have neither?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not completely, but
all right.
So you'll probably see it before us.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I wish you guys nothing but success with everything you guys do. You're a great band, great people, and I always say hopefully I'll see you guys sooner than later.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Sounds good, man.
Johnny.
All right, take
Thank
care,
you so
guys.
much.
Thanks.
You too. Thank you.
I'll see ya.